So I'm going to talk about, all of us are already into meditation. We are all going within, and of course, what starts happening to all of us. We've all experienced, I'm sure, the magic of meditation. Now, meditation, when people start meditating from the limited way of being, we start tuning into a lot of the potential. Things start opening. We start going into the deep silence where all the potential is. And all of us have experienced a lot of benefits of meditation that automatically start coming to us just by the simple practice of meditation. Very beautifully, very simply, PSSM has been teaching. Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, and Osho has obviously taught. And we all are beneficiaries of it. But today I'm going to talk about a little bit about neuroscience and why now the understanding of also that and how that helps us in our journey. So I'm going to share with you this. I just put up a little PPT here. And if we just see the journey of a sadhak, okay, or journey of a human being, everybody starts from this state where we are even unaware that we are unaware. People, mostly, especially people who are not into meditation, most of them are living in a state where they're not even aware that they are living in a state of unawareness. They think that they know, but they're not even aware that a large part of the truth they don't even know. And then when we start seeking, that happens because we become also aware that we are unaware. So the second stage, where we become aware that we don't know so much, and then we start wanting to know. And of course, this is a big stage, right? We become aware that we are unaware. And our journey is going to be in these four stages. But this is a stage where, yes, you're meditating, you will start doing a lot of things. But then again, you will realize that there is this relationship. I don't know why I behave like this. I don't know why this angry words came out. Why did I react in this way? Now, you are already on the path, and then you pay attention. Why did I do that? So you're becoming aware that there is an aspect that I'm not aware of, right? And this happens, what this needs is that we want to move towards awareness. So the entire path is of moving from darkness to light. Asatoma, Sadgamaya, moving from falsehood to truth, from unawareness to awareness. So these are the stages. There's going to be, a big part of our journey where we are still in this stage where we are aware that we are unaware of certain things. And then what we do is we start practicing awareness. And we are practicing awareness, and then we are aware that we are aware. Okay. And then finally comes the stage where the Buddhas are, where they are just living in a state of awareness. They don't have to practice it, but they are automatically living in a stage of awareness. So, from moving from unaware that we are unaware, aware that we are unaware, aware that we are aware, and then that awareness becomes such an automatic thing that we don't have to practice. When we say unaware, actually unawareness, they're never unaware, but basically the stage is saying that you don't have to consciously practice it. That is now their natural state. Now, how does this happen? When we understand the human body and how we are going to, these changes are going to happen in us, we know that the neurons that fire together wire together. So, as the child is born, as the child's brain is developing, we are taking in things. And then, as we are learning to do anything, the way that we have learned initially, the neurons have fired together in our brain. The brain is still developing. A child's brain is just so soft. Till the age of 21, the whole brain development happens. And the way that we have done things again and again and again in a particular way. That way, the path is already formed. It's like so much potential is there, but because we have walked a particular path again and again, that becomes our natural path. So by the age of 4 to 6, a lot of things that have already happened, we have seen our parents behave in a particular, that has become our automatic way. Whatever we have seen at our home, we are automatically taking that in, and that has become our natural route of existing, of operating. So we say neurons that fire together, wire together. Now, going to the previous slide, when I said aware that we are aware, what we are doing is we are doing something again and again with awareness. Now that awareness will start, then we'll start walking that path. And if with awareness we are going to start doing something new, and we are not doing something which was previously being done in with unawareness, then those paths will start dying down. Those connections, that unwiring will start happening if we are not running the signals through them again and again. So, what we are going to practice, how we are going to be, what we are going to do is our natural path. And that is how we are all wired, and that becomes our automatic response. Let's take this as a simple thing, right? We don't know driving. When you want to start learning driving, now initially you have to be aware. You have to pay attention. This is how you you have to press the clutch. This is how you have to shift the gear. Then you have to do that. But if you leave the clutch very fast, it'll give a jerk. So you make those mistakes, you do those things, you're slowly learning. And then you come to a stage where you can be talking, you can be listening to something, making some important decisions, and the driving will be very automatic. So this is how we learn anything, right? Now, we also know that this conscious and subconscious, when we are talking about consciousness, unconscious, subconscious and unconscious are terms that we use interchangeably. A Buddha is somebody where there is nothing which is unconscious or subconscious. Everything, the consciousness is what it is. He is aware of the whole of him. There is nothing that is hidden. A Buddha knows his past lives. He can see other people's past lives too. But all of us, the way we start, the conscious aspect is just 5%, or maybe even lesser sometimes, like the tip of the iceberg. The subconscious, the unconscious is 95%. Now, where is this 95%? This is in our body. When we are talking about this, the subconscious, if we imagine now a human being here, the head we will draw in the conscious part, and the whole body we will draw there if we have to represent that. So whenever something is happening in the body, the way our body is remembering things is what is being recorded in the subconscious, right? So we pay attention to that, the conscious and the subconscious. Now we start observing when we are on the meditation journey, right? We start observing things, we start witnessing. And of course, the first important step in any meditator's journey is to start practicing this Sakshi Bhav, where you start seeing, oh, you are more than this body, you are more than this mind, you're more than the emotions. And definitely, this is the first very important step. But the next important step is that we start seeing that we are not mere observers. We are not just people to whom life is happening. We are not just observing reality, but we are participating. We are creating our reality. We are active participators in this reality. And now this is the power, this is the potential of the human beings. This is something which also we need to learn. And when I'm going to talk about the neuroscience, this is really for that. But today, when I was just thinking about what to share, one story came to me, and I thought of sharing this story. This story I have heard many years ago from Osho. He spoke about it where there were two masters. Both of those masters were coming from the Buddhist tradition. They were having their monasteries at a little distance. You know, at that time, the monks used to walk, and this was not in India, some other country. And the monasteries, the schools were quite at a distance. And one of the masters, he had become very old and he was going to leave his body soon. So he sent a message. He felt disciple of mine who is ready to now take my place. So he sent a message to the other monastery, to the other head, that can you send me one of your students who is ready to take over, who's ready to take care of this monastery, who can be the head. And as he sends the message, the head monk here, the guru here, he sends 10 disciples from here. 10 of his students he sends. He says, you go to that monastery. That monk has called you. And those 10 monks, they leave here. And after some days of the travel, after some, I don't know how many days, it's more than 15 days, more than a month. What happens is the message is sent back to this monastery, this head, that the one disciple that you sent has reached. And that monk is happy. Now, Osho would tell this story that, the masters, they kind of see that, they know that. The 10 disciples started, but only one reached there. What happened to the other 9? Something on the way took their attention. One met some woman, he fell in love. He wanted to settle down. Another found a business idea. He got a business idea. Somebody offered a partnership and he wanted to stay back there. So the other 9, they actually did not go there. On the way, they had other things. Now, basically, when Osho is talking about this, he's talking about that, of course, as a soul, we all are spiritual beings having a physical experience. When we have come here, of course, we have come also for the physical experience. But we are here for a purpose. The first purpose is to know our true self, our true nature. And then the other thing is whatever our potential, to really fully manifest our potential. But on the way, so this from this monastery to that monastery, this is our path. We also many times just get lost. We just kind of go astray. We start getting busy or start really doing other things which may not really be aligned with our path. And these are the times, today we are in times where it is not like the previous times earlier when a disciple heard Aham Brahmasmi. They never actually read it. With the master, they would spend years of preparation where they were just supposed to listen, where they were just supposed to do what the master was giving them. All of that was a preparation. And then at a time when you were ready, when the master would tell you, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, those words actually were like seeds being sown, and they would really kind of, bring that beautiful transformation in you. All the truths that was being given by the masters was bringing that beautiful transformation. But we are in a time today where this knowledge is there. Everybody knows it. But our human mind is such. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, many people, the Brahmasmi kind of is lost, but the focus starts coming on Aham, right? The I, the ego, and we start using the truths also in whichever way that we can. So now we need to understand that life is our teacher. What is really, there is a science working, there are certain laws that are functioning, and how we understand these laws so that we can make this life work for us and we can really develop our true potential. We can really reach where we want to reach. We can really reach that other monastery that we wanted to reach. So, okay. Yes. So how do we create our reality? We create our reality. There are 4 steps: thought, word, action, and reality. Everything starts from the thought level. We then express our thoughts. Then the same thing is also coming in our action. And that is how reality is created. So now when we want to shift something, I want to shift something, the way that work is happening, I'm not liking it. I have to start examining at every level. What is it that I'm doing which is not aligned? And of course, we have to start paying attention to the thought level as well. I was mentioning about the subconscious. All that subconscious, where is it developed? A lot of it is developed in the early childhood. We are programmed. Most of us, we don't even know that we are living in programmed ways, right? We are operating out of programmed ways. And when does a human being actually come to know? Many times in spiritual circles, we don't identify that. But the first time that you will know that about your programming and how something may be different is when you get married. Because you have learned to operate in a particular way from your home, you are coming with certain conditioning. And now suddenly you're going to be living with somebody else who's coming from a different conditioning, right? So you believe in certain things. There is a particular way that you live. You believe this is how one is supposed to be functioning. What we say is my truth. And these days people say, no, but this is my truth. Meaning this is how I think, this is how I believe, this is what is my truth. And then you realize somebody else has differences. So all this conditioning that has happened very early in the childhood. In the slower brain waves, that is where all the programming happens. So when we are very small, when we are sleeping most of the time, the delta waves, that is the time we are operating in that. Then when we are growing up, we are our brain waves are a little faster than that, the theta pattern, then the alpha pattern. And now, of course, when you're listening to me, you're already in the beta pattern, right? So this is where we can't reprogram. We have to reprogram in those stages. The programming is something that we have to look into. Now, this is where, so from the age of 15, when I started meditating, and after the age of 30, 35, where I felt the need for understanding deeper and I started going to Dr. Newton, I realized that how our nervous system is perceiving things in a different way. So this is what I wanted to talk about, this term called as neuroception. The way that we have learned to, our body has already started perceiving whatever has happened with you. The way that this whole experience is recorded in your nervous system. When we say nervous system, now what is the first important function for that? Our body's first important function is to make sure that you survive. Survival is the most important thing, right? Now, it will not then care about growth. It'll keep sabotaging your growth if your nervous system feels that your survival is at risk. And this way of perception is now affecting your perception, how you're seeing reality. So it's like we all are probably in the same room, but we are going to be seeing the reality with different eyes. Somebody is seeing it with red colored glasses, somebody with green colored glasses. Our state of being is going to be according to that. We think, oh, I'm in a very balanced state. I'm very calm. I was in a good state of mind. But we don't even know that our nervous system is still perceiving through that way. Our feelings and behavior is affected by that. And of course, the story, right? So we say the story from that perception and we keep saying the story. And when we keep saying the story, what happens is the neurons are firing together again. The signal is going to the body when the neurons fire together. Now, supposing let me give you an example of this person, okay? He came to me and he said, Doctor, I thank God you gave me the appointment. I was going to resign. My boss now, the new boss who has come is very, very bad. And every Tuesday we have a meeting where everybody's sitting together. And if I start checking the phone, they are not okay. Okay. And it's like I feel like I want to go in a corner. Okay. So I started asking him what happens. Now, with the body sensations, I just took him in. And what he realized was this feeling that he was getting, he connected back to his childhood memory. In childhood, his father used to get very angry where he was not performing well. When he would not get good marks, the father would be so angry. This child knew now that father is going to, come and hit me. And what he would do is he would go and hide under the bed where his grandfather, grandmother were. Now, this child who was hiding there and felt hiding is the only safe place. That's the only way I can survive. Now, in this scene where now he feels that the boss, somewhere he is like my father, he's strict, he starts getting the same kind of response. Now, this person had previously quit a job again for the same thing. Here he came, the boss was good. He came here because everything looked fine. But now, what happened is that the boss has changed. There's a new guy who has come, and now the same thing is happening. Now, friends, this is what happens when there is something in our subconscious, in our body. We are carrying this. The universe is always trying to make us a complete being, trying to heal us. We will keep attracting somebody in our life who will show us the same thing, who will trigger the same response. Now, obviously, what this person wants to do is, I want to leave this job. I don't want to be in this place. I feel very watched over, as if this person is very strict. I can't be myself. I want to go away from here. And as we explored this, he kind of went through this is what is neuroception. The body is remembering that is clouding his perception, that is clouding his feeling, his behavior. The way he's behaving with his boss is different. The story that he's telling himself, this boss is not good enough, these people are very ruthless, they behave in this way, they so the whole story, the whole perception is really being kind of, replayed again and again. And like I said, there is law of attraction. So universe will bring to you that thing that it's wanting you to heal. So many times when we've had experiences which were unpleasant and we are acting, we are trying to avoid that thing even now because of that perception, we have to actually heal that experience. We will keep attracting otherwise experiences in our lives, which will keep reminding us of that. And we will not be able to overcome that, and we'll create more and more of that if we don't heal from that. Hence, it's important that we take life as our teacher. When something is happening, something is coming into your life, a illness, an unpleasant experience, a bad relationship, a relationship not working, right? Or all of this is a teacher, right? Or you're addicted to something. So when we are addicted, when there is a compulsion, you're trying to avoid something, right? Some of this compulsion can be also you just want to keep working. You're not okay that you are not having any work. Or you have to go out of the house. You have to keep going somewhere. Anything can be a compulsion, right? Now, this, I think we are already at half an hour, so I should stop here. But this is how all of that is actually thoughts and feelings. Our perceptions are coming many times from lifetimes. And we have to really allow ourselves to examine our perceptions, our own beliefs. The meditation that I'm going to be asking us to do today, like this, I already spoke about, that we have to reprogram ourselves. We have already been programmed. We reprogram in the state of meditation, or again, when we do therapy, right? In meditation, our brain wave starts slowing down, but we have to become aware of it. Okay, what is it that I want to change? When we say, oh, yeah, I believe this, now this is why this is happening to me. If I feel this is bad for me and that's what keeps coming in my life, now I'm saying this is something I'm resisting, I'm trying to fight that so much. And the law of the universe is what you resist persists. We need to heal that. We need to embrace whatever that you have been resisting. We have to make peace with that. So, this reprogramming is important. We manifest in our life, we get things in our life when we have clear intention and elevated emotion. But if we are scared of something, if we are resisting something, that will also keep coming in our life. So in our meditation, what I'd like you to do is like you to see what is it that you would want to leave behind. Is there a particular emotion that you're addicted to? Do you keep feeling, for example, you keep going into this self-pity? That story keeps playing into your mind. Okay. Or do you recognize any other emotion that you anger, right? Now, you are very likely addicted to that emotion. Like I said, the neurons fire, the same state keeps getting repeated. What is it that you would like to leave behind? First step, of course, we learn to look deeper. We see why is it happening, what is happening, and then we can say, okay, the new me is not going to have it.